they were a laxative, they'd be so powerful you could stand on your head and on the ceiling.
That position would not only be unveiling, but also undignified.
You're
What's
listening
up,
to
everyone?
Hollywood on Motorcycle Madhouse.
How you guys doing?
iTunes and all major podcasting platforms.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? It's time to make some noise.
Hey, thank you for that introduction. Thank you, gotta say. Hey, before we begin, don't forget to hashtag rock on in your comments. Let's get her going, man. We have a great show today. Welcome to Motorcycle Madhouse Radio. We are going to be talking about the situation that Harley Davidson is facing right now, as well as some rights are being taken away. My God, are they being taken away right now? Wait till you see what is happening when a group of motorcyclists, I guess, broke curfew. Well, not curfew, broke the freaking ban on staying at home order or something. It's bad stuff out there right now, bad stuff. Also, we have the world's fastest Sportster. You know, everybody knows I like the little sportsties. You know, you go, you're in the city, you're going all over the place. You know, you can get in between traffic and all that good stuff. So we're going to be talking about that as well. And Indian has a new program out, so good stuff today, man. Good stuff today.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Hollywood's Motorcycle Madhouse on Spotify and iTunes Radio.
First up, we have the Springfield police are issuing a stay-at-home order, violations to motorcyclists. Yes, they don't want you out of that house. They want you inside or they will ticket you down there. My God, are our rights eroding? Let's take a listen.
Has been broken as of tonight. Police Chief Paul Williams posted this on Twitter today saying police had to issue citations for people who violated the order. Chief Williams added the reminder to stay home. It saves lives. Police tell us a caller complained about people on motorcycles gathered at a convenience store on East Battlefield about midnight. When officers got there, they found 7 people. 1 drove away, but the others were all issued citations, 7 people.
Yes, they are having people call in and snitching. They're snitching. You know, I heard that thing out of Washington where I think it was a governor or a mayor actually said, call 911 if people are violating the stay-at-home order. We are now living in communism, people. You know, what happened to our rights during this stuff? And I believe there is a 115-year-old Supreme Court decision that's going to actually be addressing this very point. I just heard of it before coming on the air, so I'm going to do a little research on it to make sure I'm up to date, the whole 9 yards on it before I put it out here. But yes, there is a court case that covers a pandemic and your rights as an American citizen. But it don't look good, man. And, you know, this is from the OzarksFirst.com by Ivy Macy. And down in Springfield, man, they're saying, nope. You can't go ride that motorcycle. And, you know, it's kind of funny, you know, they're talking about social distancing and stuff. I'll get to that later on. But first, let's go to the big story today out of Milwaukee, the Journal Sentinel by Rick Barrett. Harley Davidson sales slow as coronavirus closes dealerships and threatens motorcycle events. That I know for sure, man, because, you know, we're supposed to have some events coming up, and most of my events have been wiped out. I'm hoping that the end of May some are happening. It don't look good, man. It all depends what they're doing up in Wisconsin as far as the stay-at-home order. I know Fat Boy JB over here in Illinois, he's issued where he don't know if it's going to go into May or at the end of the May. It could be June. But I'm telling you, man, you give them a freaking yard, they're going to take you a mile on this stuff. But Harley Davidson hasn't been doing well, and now that this hits, oh my God. I think they're, I talked about it in the other video or other segment about their stock price, man. It's just like barreling on down, man. I would be, if I was in that sector, I'd wait till it drops and then hit it for a little bit, and then it's going to rise back up to maybe 25, so you make your your split in between, so you might have some money that you can make out of it, but I wouldn't hold it for freaking ever, man. This company is in some serious trouble. The article starts out, a flash of warm weather should be heating up motorcycle sales now, but the effect of coronavirus on the economy has kept buyers out of dealerships, and a lot of Harley dealerships are open right now because it's mechanical, so they're considered an essential business, but it's not going good for them, man. Right now, they have a real deal going on with the CEO position, or yes, there's an interim one. He was actually with Puma, and he turned around Puma, but they got to get somebody in there that knows the motorcycle industry, if you ask me, man, because they're like hemorrhaging right now. In the U.S., some Harley-Davidson dealers reported very slow business in the second half of March, according to a survey released Wednesday by analyst Robin Farley with UBS Investment Research. And I believe their their first quarter earnings are going to be coming out on the 18th. And you can actually watch that on their site, I believe. They're going to have a teleconference on that. The world's largest manufacturer of heavyweight motorcycles continued to ban its dealers from selling bikes online, she said, although they have now looked the other way to let dealers sell parts and accessories online. That really don't make any sense, man. You're sitting here hemorrhaging freaking sales, and you want to, you're actually trying to invite people into the dealership. I think it'd be a lot more smarter if you allow them online stuff. See, if I had all that kind of money, what is it, $1 million to get a dealership, just a franchise? Then you're looking at millions more dollars in inventory, building, employees. I'd never get a Harley-Davidson freaking franchise. Never. The corporation maintains too much control. It's just like this radio show. I had offers, from some mainstream radio stations to come on and do the show, and I was like, okay, you get your price, negotiate and stuff, but then the big one comes. The big one. They want creative control. Yeah, that is never happening. So that's one of the main reasons why I turn them kind of deals off, is because if you try to take creative control away, you're basically a puppet is all you are. No, that ain't happening. Now, I can, equate that to the same thing with Harley-Davidson franchises, is you're basically a puppet, man. You're just paying out big money, and you're probably not giving a good return because, yeah, maybe in the day you used to make some money, but now you don't. Harley isn't offering many sales promotions now, Farley said, which isn't surprising given the scores of dealerships are temporarily closed anyway. With a few exceptions, dealers won't be getting additional model year 2020 bikes, according to Farley, as the company has suspended manufacturing and placed most of its factory employees on temporary layoff. Many riding events have been canceled, including Myrtle Beach has been canceled, it looks like. That's the first I've heard of this one. It usually kicks off riding season in May for thousands of motorcyclists. So according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, that is off Myrtle Beach. In Milwaukee area, some spring and even summer events are still up in the air. Quote, I'm a positive thinker, so I want to believe that our rally in July will happen, but we've got to be realistic about it. There's a chance that it could be postponed. This is Todd Berlin, general manager of Suburban Harley-Davidson in Thiensville. We are not going to hold the rally that would put our customers at risk. Well, you know what? In July, I'm hoping, because I've been promoting it pretty heavy, the A-Bait one goes through in Iowa. But again, we have to go through the twists and turns of this pandemic, and as more information comes available, I'll make sure I get it out there for you guys. Right now, I do know that NCOM's convention has been moved to October because of this stuff, and the Indianapolis 500 actually took its spot. But Harley Davidson right now having tons of trouble. Let's get to this fun story right now. The fastest Harley Davidson Sporty. This out of American Iron. I love this magazine. If you guys, you know what, because I'm a techie, so check out American Iron. Morgan's Carlson's 2032 CC. If you guys are over on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or on the radio, come over to the YouTube channel. You'll see this little sucker. 2032 CCs. Most people who see it have no idea what they are looking at. And you know what? Most people wouldn't. But the engine was built by top fuel drag bike rider and motor genius Charlie Carlin, and the bike has an incredible 163 rear wheel horsepower. Oh my God, you gotta love it. Quote, he goes on to say, I've never dared let any of my friends test ride my bike. It has way too much power, Gorgon says. You know, it delivers 100 horsepowers at 3,000 RPMs. Nothing like a big Japanese 4. That's nice and civilized at low revs. Here the power hits you like a knockout punch. Man, I bet it does. And when you back off the throttle, the engine braking effect is equally violent. Charlie Carlin has gotten a test ride, but he is used to 1,500 horsepower nitro bikes, so that's a different story. Carlson is from Stockholm. He works as an engineer and shipbuilder for the Swedish Navy. He's very passionate about everything that involves technology. Among other things, he's a member of the Vintage Fleet, and a group of guys that keep old torpedo boats and other Navy ships in shape and have their own harbor on an island in Stockholm. Rock on, man. You gotta love that thing, man. That's a lot of horsepower on that little sporty. Going over to Indian again, from American Island, they're going to launch their Click, Deliver, and Ride program. This, America's first motorcycle company, today introduced its Click, Deliver, Ride program, providing riders with an option of purchasing a motorcycle from the comfort of their own home. It always seems like Indian, you know, here you got Harley Davidson, they don't want you freaking selling bikes online, but here comes in freaking Indian, man. They're always on top of the freaking hill, always have the pulse of the people, man, and that's why they, well, for one, it's Polaris, man. Polaris owns Indian, which is a great thing. Well, you know, they do make mistakes. They got rid of the Victory. Victories were a popular brand. I never understood why they got rid of freaking Victory, because the guys that couldn't afford these big Indians, you know, you had your Victory right there, man. I think it would have been a good thing. But they're always ahead of the curve. Always ahead of Harley Davidson, man. Riders have long had the ability to search for their desired motorcycle model and customize it to their preference, but they can now work with their local dealer, either online or via phone, to complete their purchase and have their dream bike delivered right to their doorstep. So you don't even have to go into the dealership with this program. In the same way that Click, Deliver, and Ride is providing Indian Motorcycles customers with convenience, it is adding value to its networks of dealers as well. Dealers play a crucial role in their local communities and economies, which is why Indian Motorcycle has dedicated itself to help them navigate through this unprecedented business situation, with Click, Deliver, Ride at the forefront. That's one thing that I do know that Indian needs to do. They need to get their dealer network going, man. Can you imagine if they had a dealer network like Harley Davidson did? My God, they would just be, you know what? They would just put freaking Harley Davidson in a hole. Going on, Mike Doherty, who's the Indian Motorcycle president. See, that's somebody like Harley Davidson needs to get, somebody who actually knows the business. Over the last month, we've had to adjust to a new way of life and have had to alter the ways in which we conduct business. Our hope is that Click, Deliver, Ride will help bring peace of mind to both our loyal customers and network of dealerships. Then if you guys over on the radio again, I'll actually put the article link in here. That way you can click through it. You just see the Facebook stuff, all that good stuff. So that again is Indian. They're launching the Click, Deliver, Ride program. Before we go into my final thoughts, don't forget Motorcycle Madhouse Radio is on all the major radio podcast platforms like Spotify, Alexis, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, the whole 9 yards. Also, go visit us on our social media networks, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, HarleyLiberty.com for your daily biker news. Now, you know what? Harley Davidson was in real trouble before this coronavirus thing broke out. And, you know, other car dealerships are too, like GM, Ford, but they switched their production to, you know, medical stuff. I don't know if Harley Davidson did it, but I know that sales of motorcycles going into this thing were really poor. And Harley Davidson was hitting rock bottom. With this coming out, man, we're talking they're just starting to dig. And with their situation with their CEO, the infighting with the board, who they want to put on the board, it's not looking good, man. And I know a lot of Harley freaking fanatics out there are gonna, you know, push back because you always do. They don't look at the numbers. They only look at the brand loyalty, which I gotta say, the brand loyalty isn't that good as it used to be, man. I know a lot of people that are moving to Indian. They're moving over to the Jap, the German, and the English manufacturers now. There's just a lot of competition out there, and Harley Davidson's not been listening into their customer base. If they did, they would get models in there that, for one, people like riding, and two, that actually can afford it. With this downturn in the economy, you know, just like in, you know, 2008 when it got bad, you know, they were able to, you know, ride out that hump. But this, right now, the economic situation, it could be worse than the Great Depression, a lot of people are saying, because people are just out of work. I think it's, what, 10% of our freaking workforce is gone right now? And, you know, getting them people back to work is going to be something. The restaurant industry, in the tourism industry, hotels and all that are really suffering right now. So the last thing on people's mind is going to be a motorcycle, and especially a motorcycle that you need a second mortgage on even before all this type of stuff. So there's going to have to be a lot of discussion at the manufacturers' high levels about how they're going to turn this around, because they're really having a lot of damn problems before this happened. Now everybody's on furloughs, everybody's out of a job, production shut down, their dealerships ain't doing good, they're hamstringing their dealerships where you can't even do online sales. But here you got Indian coming out, they're adapting to the situation, and they're doing the Click Buy and Ride program like we just discussed. You buy a bike online, get it customized, deal with the local dealer, and get it delivered right to your house. Harley Davidson says, no, you can't do it online. So they're really hamstringing dealerships right now. I don't think it's a good business move, and their stock is just going into the toilet lately. Which is a very bad sign when your stock is just hitting the toilet, because, you know, the investors' belief in your company isn't there. Again, personally, don't hold it. If you're going to make, you know, let it drop to the 52 low or something like that, buy up a few shares. When it goes up a few bucks, then, you know, sell it, make your money. But it is not a hold type of freaking deal. And on this pandemic stuff, man, what's really worrying outside of, you know, Harley Davidson stuff is our individual liberties, man. That story where, you know, they came out and said somebody's seen them just hanging around, so they called the police. You got neighbors calling people on each other, man. You know, what is happening when you got a society like this? We're turning into a communist country right now. You know what? It's funny. I heard a guy who said, well, you know, I had to have papers to get into the other state just to go to work. I was like, what is this, communist freaking Russia, for Christ's sakes? You have to have papers to cross a freaking checkpoint? This ain't America, man. And that's why I'm researching this one case. It's 115 years old, but it had to deal with civil liberties during a pandemic. So when I get that information, I'll bring it to you. Let me know what you guys think about Indians' new program, man, and how they're going. Let me know how you like that Sportster. Again, radio, come over to YouTube, you just see what I'm talking about as far as that Sportster. Boy, does that have some damn power. We have a lot of good stuff coming up as far as Motorcycle Madhouse Live on Thursdays over on YouTube, Facebook. A lot of good interviews coming up. I'm waiting to confirm one right now, so I'll let you know as soon as I know if they can do it or not next week. If not, we'll get them on here, make sure. I'll keep the guests quiet for right now. But other than that, you guys stay careful, have fun. And you know what? Get out there and ride, man. Let them chase you. That's what I have to say.
Internet Biker Radio Show is now available on Spotify and all major platforms, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, and more. Don't forget to become a subscriber on any one of these platforms so you can be notified right away when our weekly episode is uploaded so you never miss an episode.
Hi, this is James Hollywood Machikari. Join our YouTube channel and get Motorcycle Madhouse and tons of videos related to the bikers. Join now by subscribing for free and become part of the crowd today. Always free and always entertaining. Don't forget to visit us at www.harleyliberty.com for your daily biker news. Rock on!